Hello and welcome to this new video in the Learning to Program with Go series. Today we're going to be installing Visual Studio Code, downloading Go, and then writing our very first application to print Hello World to the console. With that in mind, let's go ahead and download Visual Studio Code. Now we can go ahead and use any text editor that we want, JetBrains, Golang, Vim, Nano, Notepad. I've even seen people write code in Microsoft Word. But for this series, we're just going to use VS Code. Now, if you're on a Windows machine, it's pretty simple. Just pick a Windows distribution and download it. But if you're on Mac OS, Mac is kind of in this balancing act of trying to support their M series chips that they've put out and then still their older Intel based Macs. So if you're on an older MacBook or Mac, you might need to be picking the Intel chip to go ahead and download. But if you have an M series Mac, so like the M1, M2, or even the Pros and the Studios, you should just be picking the Apple Silicon. And if you genuinely don't know, then you could probably just select the Universal. With that downloaded, you need to go ahead and head over to the Go download page. So it's just go.dev/DL. They make it super easy to know which download you need to pick. Again, if you're on Windows, you're going to pick the Windows download. If you're on an M series Mac, you're going to pick the ARM64. And then lastly, if you're on Mac OS with an Intel chip, you'll pick the x86 64. Now, if you're on Linux, I assume you know what you're doing, so you should just probably pick Linux. Lastly, to get set up, once you already have Visual Studio Code running, you'll need to search for the Go extension. So just type in Go, and at the top, it's published right by the Go team at Google. You'll hit install, and then you should have Go up and ready to run in Visual Studio Code. Now it's time for us to write some code. So I have a directory set up or a folder structure set up to where I have a Go development folder and then a Hello World folder where I'm going to be writing this video's code in. Now what we need to do first is run a go mod init command. Now this go mod init command is basically going to do all the dependency tracking for us and make sure that we know what version of Go that we're going to be using in this application. So what I'll do is I'll down in the terminal, I'll do go mod init, and then I'm going to name this module that we are creating here. And since we're just within the Hello World folder, I'm just going to call it the Hello World. So go mod init hello and then dash world. And that will go ahead and create for us a go.mod file. So if you go ahead and open this up, you'll see that this is exactly what we named it. It's the Hello World module. And it's going to be running off of Go 1.24.2 or whatever Go version you have installed at the moment. We can't run any code yet because we have not written any code. So let's go ahead and create a new file. So just go ahead and right click over here, do a new file, and we're going to name this file main.go. Hit enter and you're presented with a blank slate. Now at the top of every Go program that you write, you need to have a package statement. So this is just going to say this is the package that we're in. And if we're going to be executing the code or this is the entry point for our application, then it needs to be called package main. With that done, now we need to have an import statement so that we can print things to the console. So that means that we need to use the FMT package, which is a part of the standard library in Go. So all you have to do is just import FMT. And now that we have that imported, you're going to have some red squigglies here saying, hey, this package, it's not being used at the moment, but don't worry yet. Once we write our main function, that will go away. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and write the main function. So to declare a function in Go, you just type func and then you give its name. So we're going to be writing the main function here, open up the braces, and now we're ready to finally start executing the code within our program. So if we want to print anything to the console or the terminal, whatever you want to call it, you can just do FMT and then call the print line function and then pass in some sort of string. So here I'm going to do hello world. Now that we've written the code, we can go ahead and save this file, go down here to the terminal. So down here, I'm going to type go run in period, saying that I want to run the code that's within the hello world package. And so once I hit enter, as we can see, see it's printed out hello world. So I can go ahead and, you know, throw any string into here, make sure that you save the file and go back down here and do a run, and you'll see that it prints out whatever we put within those double quotes. Now, if we don't have anything here, we're not using the format package, if you see that we save, it's going to take that import out because we are not using that package. So therefore we don't need to have it injected into the source file, but we can just go ahead and undo that because we still want this. So we've used a standard library package that we have, FMT, but what if we want to use something that someone else has written? So let's go ahead and go over to GitHub and see what we can find. Over here at github.com/chanced/caps, there is a string library that kind of converts things to camel case, lowercase, all types of different cases that we use over in programming. And what I'm going to show you is how to use the caps library for to camel case some of our strings. So what you should do is take this URL, copy it, go back to VS Code, and in the terminal, you'll want to write go get, and then you're going to paste that URL, but take out the HTTPS part of it. And this is going to go fetch that package from the internet, which then creates a go.sum, which will generate it right here. And then we can also see that it modified our go.mod file with the adding in the caps package. So back in the main, let's go ahead and import this new caps package. So it's just like the last one, we import, and then we're going to paste that URL, but take out the HTTPS part of it. And now it's imported, but we still need to use it. So let's store whatever string that we have right here, and let's fix it into a string variable. So we'll say message is equal to the hello world. And now you're going to get a reg squiggly here saying that message is not being used, but don't worry, we're about to. So we'll go ahead and still use the format package here. And so we'll say print line, or really, print line. And we're going to print this message. And then we're going to do a camel cased message. So we'll say camel cased is equal to caps.toCamel. And we're going to pass it in the message. And then we're also going to print this out to the console. So again, just reiterating what we did here, we create a variable called message that's going to hold the string hello world, and then we print it out to the console here. Then we go ahead and take this message and we camel case it, which just modifies what it's going to look like, what letters are capitalized. It's going to remove the space, and then we're going to print it again just to make sure that it actually modified the string and put it into the camel cased variable. So let's go down here to the terminal and clear this out. Make sure that main.go is now saved with your changes. And as you see, once you save it, it actually changes this import statement just a little bit. It makes it a little bit more succinct because this is what it typically looks like when you have a bunch of packages within a single source file. But if we go back down to our terminal and we run go run and then the period, we'll see that we get our original string that we printed, hello world, which was right here from this print statement. And then when we camel case it and print out the camel cased version, we get hello world with a capitalized W and then no space, and it takes out that exclamation point. Well, there we go. You've written your very first Go program. In the next video, we're going to get into what variables are, all different kinds of data types, and how we can start expressing ourselves in much more ways than just simple strings in a program. If you like this video, I encourage that you go like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.